Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode in Spakovo, Poland. Here is the crop of stones I picked off the fields, and it's quite a lot. It's almost, well, it's more than half of a bucket, which I think is more than we ever got. So I want to start this day with a bit of animal care. And I was thinking, well, first of all, I have cleaned out the rocks from the pig's place. And I do believe it's high time to straw it up. So to make nice little soft bedding where piggies can, when Romeo and Juliet can have a good little nap and be protected from the weather and the cold. Yeah, the cold is one of those things that is just around the corner. So far it's fairly warm outside still, but you know it's gonna be here sooner or later. Okay. I still have to find some kind of a way to actually cut the bales up and drop them in. But let's say it's we're gonna manage. Yeah, and I want to take quite a bit of straw. The cows are good with it. They have enough to last them till next season. And yeah, the next thing that I was thinking of is I'm gonna have to start making some plans for next year's crops. Now, we need sorghum, we need soybeans, we need wheat, barley, rye, something in that general direction. And we also need potatoes. So with the current 2 fields that we own, I am not confident we're gonna be able to provide everything we need for our beautiful animals. Again, it's such a beautiful morning today. Oh, look at that. The apple trees have grown. That was a growth spurt. Awesome. I wonder if this is their full height or are they gonna need any more. Oh, I guess it's for the full height. Nice. Them apples, right? Hello, piggies. Let's check up on you. How are you feeling? Yeah, so you can see there's still a bit of small stones, but nothing as bad as it was before. And we are gonna cover this with straw, so yeah. How you doing? So you're Romeo and you ought to be Juliet. Yes, you are. Okay, so you are healthy enough now to actually have some offspring. And I don't really know how long it takes from conception to birth for these pigs. I guess we just have to see. Oh, it says 4 months. So reproduction time is 4 months and we have 6 months till pigs are from babies until fully grown. So if it takes around 2 months for a pig to go from birth to being able to get pregnant again, it might just work out perfectly. Gonna have to see. Yeah, they really are beautiful animals. Okay, well, let me sort this out and I'll see you in a jiffy. Yeah, look at him rest. Yeah, in any case, so I have covered this hut with straw. I could still give it a bit more, but I think it's gonna be fine for a while. Yeah, a good pig is. Let me check if there's any manure in the pit already. It doesn't seem like it is. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda is I'm gonna take a trailer load of potatoes to sell point. Do you know what? Let's just check on our animals. A quick little bit. Okay, I'm slowly gonna have to give them a bit more feed. Okay, everybody seems to be faring fairly well. And how are you ladies? Oh, we had another litter. Look at that. Nope. Excuse me, we did not. I was looking at the wrong information. Hey, Becky. So 8 months until you're grown. And how old are you? 6 months. Okay, we're gonna have a few more grown goats in a short time. And you take 5 months. You're... What? You look like a baby still. And alrighty, so we have most of our animals. Most of the sheep are adults. Yeah, look at that. Okay, which basically means we're gonna be getting more wool. Except, of course, in the winter months, because we can't shear our sheep during winter. Alrighty, let's get our trusty little... Well, now it's trusty. Now that it has been fixed. Our Lambo. So as we discussed previously, we're only gonna take one trailer load and we're gonna keep the rest for feed, pig feed. And I do think that's the correct way to go about it. Because we don't want to have hungry pigs, even though they only use around 5% of root crops, but still. And I did leave the zitter in the way, didn't I? Nah, I'll manage. Famous last words. Let's get this bad boy reversed. So yeah, all in all, we're kind of sort of hovering. I think I'm gonna hit the flowers. We are kind of sort of hovering just under 100,000 most of the time, which is not bad, especially since we are looking into getting a few more fields. Alright, well, give me a minute or two so I load everything up. And we'll see each other on the way to the shop. Alrighty. So the potatoes are all loaded up. And we are on our way to sell them. The price is around 450 euros per 1,000 liters. So if we have 12,000, I guess we're gonna get paid around, let's say, 5 grand. in that vicinity. Let's see if my prediction is right. And while we're at it, let's open this. It's a bit more airy and light inside. This tractor has another cool feature, and that is, I'll just show you real quick, it has a red light over here. You see it's now turned on, and it's shining on your controls over here, so you can work in the night and still see without your eyes hurting too much because of the light. Isn't this cool? I just only recently noticed this. Yeah, this is a really versatile tractor. But what else would you expect from a Lamborghini? On the way here, I was thinking of actually making a special redemption. That means basically paying a bit more off on the loan. Now, I don't know if I can actually do a lot of it, because there's a contract behind the loan. But I do think I can pay off, I think, 5% per year additionally. Yeah, this is how the banks keep us nice and in line, right? Because if I would pay off everything in advance, there would be no money to be made. Okay, let's see how much we get. Takes quite some time to unload those 12,000 liters. Okay, 5,312, so I was not off by far. I said 5,500. Good. The math is mathing. Yeah, the numbers, what do they mean? In any case, when I get back home, I will try and call the bank and see how much we can actually pay off of the loan, just to reduce it a bit, you know. If we can get the main body of money down, then the interest rate is going to be lower all in all. Right, so I have been on the phone with the bank, and our outstanding number is 137,663, and we can make a special redemption once a year. So if I want to, for example, repay 10,000, we can only do 8.5. I believe that's 5% of the total amount, 170,000. 5% of that is 8.5. Okay, let's pay it off. So our new outstanding number is 129,163. Good. And we are still at 90 grand. So in view of having 3 piles of of hay, I have also decided that I'm gonna take all the rest of the hay, so both this and this pile, and put it to the horses, put it to the cow barn, and we can have the rest until next year, because as you know, when the snow comes, it's extremely difficult to actually feed our animals or move any vehicles around the farm. So I think this is gonna be the correct way to go about it. Okay, this is probably not too interesting to watch, so I'm gonna skip the loading scene. Would you look at that? The older pile actually made up exactly one full trailer. How cool is that? Sometimes life just gives you some nice things to be happy about. Alrighty, so this pile goes to the cows and the other one will go to the horses. And then I should probably bring some more oats to the horses. And this is the last bale from the second pile, and it's just one more than a full trailer. So, isn't this interesting? Okay, let's give this to the horses. This should keep them going for a while, I think. There's another thing I've been thinking, and that is, I was kind of hoping the apple trees were gonna be bigger, because I really wanted some shade for this pasture over here so the grass doesn't get burned, since horses are mostly walking on it. So I'm probably gonna drop down an oak tree or something like that over here, a sapling. So when it grows, it's gonna make a proper shade. And I guess the same thing would be good for the sheep also, but yeah, I don't know. Can't really decide. Alright, the horses are fed. Tomorrow we're gonna be taking care of the vineyard with the automatic pruner. But while I was dropping hay to our horses, I did have a look at the auction site just to see if there's anything on sale, any fields. And I actually found two that interest me. So what I want to do now is I want to take you on a ride with me. Let's go check out those two fields. Alright. It's gonna leave it here. No, it's gonna rain. See? I wanted to cut corners. I should not cut corners. Don't puncture the tire. Yeah, this is gonna be a good place for the trailer. Yeah, marvel at my reversing skills, everybody. Alright, that's far enough. Yeah, so there is a bit of rain forecasted, and I don't think it's gonna be here soon, but I still want to take the car just in case. Don't want to get wet. Let's take the Lada. This wasn't the best parking ever of my life. Okay. So the first field is basically next to our farm. We've been driving past it for a while now. Well, all the time technically. It's not this one, even though this one is quite interesting, but it's a bit out of our price range. Also, this is a bit out of our price range, but there is a narrow field over here in between that's actually for sale for 30,000. Yeah, we can get this field for 30,809, I think. I have to contact Mr. David, he's the owner. But yeah, this is one option. Even, oh, what a filthy car. Even though I do want to have 2 new fields. So let's continue down the road. The second field is also on the road where we were driving at the beginning of this series quite a lot. And it's on the way down to the sawmill. So both of them are not far, and both of them are on this dirt road off of the main road, because I kind of sort of want to have my fields closer, and if I have to go with an unregistered vehicle, I don't have to be afraid to get caught, you know. Even though if something happens, I'll still probably get fined on this road. Oh, this is it. Let me just park this over here. Okay, and this is the second field. It's nice and square, I think. But it's, yeah, I think this one is 34,000 and something. So altogether we would be spending 65 grand. And we would be left with 25,000 around there in the bank account. Which is a big investment, considering. But on the other hand, I do expect we're gonna get a lot more off of these fields. This one looks like it's a good field for potatoes, because it's nice and straight, it's square. I would have to stop planting potatoes probably around where this bush is, so I have enough space to turn around, and same on the other side. But yeah, we could have cereal crops in. Yeah. Looking into the future, feeling positive. This is this is the gist of today's episode, I think. Yeah, so I do think this is gonna be a good... Oh, excuse me. This is gonna be a good thing. Oh, very nice. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go back home. I'm gonna make myself lunch. I'm gonna have a think about it. And join us next time when you see where I've decided on the fields. Did I get them? Did I not? What the future holds. But yeah, all in all, we need 4 crops. Basically, we need a cereal crop. We need sorghum or corn. But I think I'm gonna do it with sorghum, because we have all the equipment to actually plant it already available. And we also need some oil crops, which is probably gonna be... No, I've already missed canola, I think. I think I can't plant canola anymore, so it's gonna have to be soybeans and root crops, potatoes. And that should be us done. So we can have all the fields without dividing them, as I have divided previously. The potatoes, for example, half a field. And I think that's gonna make a pretty good deal. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for next time. And take care. And goodbye.